Welcome to my playthrough of Resurrection of Heaven's Liquor, a Touhou fan game for the PC. Resurrection of Heaven's Liquor is not by any means a good Touhou fan game. It features hilariously bad artwork and very, very awful music, which is why you're hearing music from the official games, which I've spliced in for your convenience. Suffice to say, not everyone can be as cool as Zune and make a game all by themselves. So gameplay-wise, it's pretty much like any other Touhou fan game. Shoot up fairies, collect power, collect blue tiles for extra lives. Basic stuff. It resembles Imperishable Night in a lot of ways, right down to the fact that enemies with familiar enemies cannot be shot if you're focusing. But then they can't hit you if you're unfocused. One thing that sets Resurrection of Heaven's Liquor apart from the other games is the gauge in the lower left. I've taken a liking to calling it the drunk meter because that's basically what it is. It fills up whenever you collect teal tiles, graze bullets, or capture spell cards. If it fills up completely, you become invincible for a set period of time, as well as a certain other effect depending on the character. However, you can't activate this at will. For that reason, its use is very, very limited. And it has a bad habit of activating at the end of a stage, much like Final Fantasy IX's Trance ability. As far as the character balance goes, the name of the game here is Extra Stage Bosses. I'm using Flandre Scarlet here. She is a lot like the magic team from Imperishable Night, right down to the fact that if you rapidly focus and unfocus, you get a glitch similar to the Mala's Cannon glitch. Anyways, every character has a different boss for Stage 1. For Flandre, it's Kawakuma for some reason instead of Patchouli or Sakuya. The implication is that Flandre is trying to escape the Scarlet Devil Mansion so she can shoot shit up for a little while. But then again, isn't it kind of bad if Flandre were to escape because then she'd be in direct sunlight for a little while? Oh well. Kawakuma is not a difficult boss by any means. In fact, she's rather pathetic. It makes me wonder if Flandre is supposed to be the beginner's character. Anyways, every character has 2 bombs, and that was Flandre's focus bomb. Also, during this non-spell, you can pretty much just stand still and beat it easily. A problem that a lot of the bombs have is that it seems that if the bombs will only clear a bullet off the screen if the bomb object touches them. Like this one, for example, you can well, none of the bullets got through, but when I demo the other characters and their bombs, you might notice that a bullet sneaks through. Also, Flandre speaks English here for some reason. She died by the bullet, and then there were none. So let's move on to the other characters. Stage 1 does, the fairy layout in Stage 1 does not differ no matter what character you're playing as, but the boss is always different, so I've skipped straight to the boss. Yakumo is the second playable character, and she is, for whatever reason, the weakest out of all 4. Now you can see that her unfocused, her shot type covers the entire screen pretty much, but when she's focused, for whatever reason, instead of the red amulets firing in the same direction as the blue amulets, they shoot behind her. This results in Ron having the lowest firepower output, and this combined with her very slow movement speed means that she is pretty much the weakest character of the 4, which Yakumo being weaker than Moko. That's a very hard fact to swallow. Her Stage 1 boss is Chen, as you can see. As you can see, in order to get the most out of Ron's shot type, you pretty much have to get, like, right up in the boss's face, and that's not always safe. So this isn't really that difficult to spell cards, so let's check out Ron's bombs. The first bomb is a rotating, what's it called, a manji? Yeah, a manji. Her first bomb is a rotating manji, which inflicts little damage unless the boss happens to be in the middle of the screen, because it forces Ron to move there. In fact, that's a problem with both of Ron's bombs. They force her to move into specific positions, which means that when they run out, there better not be a bullet right on top of you, or you'd better wise up to this fact. It's not fun. This is a very difficult spell card. It's got really tight spaces that you have to move in. So let's check out Ron's other bomb. It causes her to move right on top of the boss and inflicts a lot of damage. I really don't want to think about how that bomb actually works. Anyways, that's it for Ron Stage 1. Now, the third playable character is Moko. She is, without a doubt, the strongest character out of all four. A lot of firepower, a decent spread, and decent movement speed, too. You can see that non-spell ended pretty quickly, and so will the spell card. I'm pretty much going to use Moko for the rest of the game, except for Stage 4, where the boss changes depending on what character you're playing. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but first we have to humiliate Kiene again, and I still don't know how to pronounce that name. A big problem with Kiene is that a lot of her attacks can be trivialized by simply destroying her familiars. Kiene herself almost never fires any bullets. She leaves it all up to her familiars. Although I failed to get to the left or right of the screen before starting on this spell card. So here's Moko's first bomb. I probably didn't do a good job of showing it because I fired it while I was at the far left of the screen, but as you can see, no familiars means she never fires any bullets. This is a little trickier non-spell because the bullets are faster, but still the familiars die pretty quickly. Kine's second spell card is comprised entirely of static lasers. The lasers never move, so as long as you do not stand on one of them when they appear, you'll be perfectly safe. And that's Moko's other bomb. It's significantly more useful. I can tell I'm going to enjoy using Moko a lot. The fourth and final playable character is Suwako Moriya. You can see that Suwako fires iron rings all across the screen when unfocused. When she's focused, she fires a hail of rainbow bullets that do a pretty good amount of damage. The issue with it, however, is that the lasers, when she fires when she's focused, are completely static, so I hope the boss is in just the right position for them to be useful. Also, check out the originality on Sine's first spell card here. It must have been ripped straight from Mountain of Faith. That's a problem that Resurrection of Heaven's Liquor has in general. Very unoriginal ideas, and when they pull out a gimmick of some kind, it usually doesn't end very well. So yes, Suwako has to fight Sine for some reason. Actually, they do fight each other in Touhou 12.3, but whatever. That's a fight for another day. I absolutely hate Sine's spell cards. She's probably the hardest out of all four Stage 1 bosses. This one involves familiars, which, again, if they're destroyed, pretty much trivialize most of the card. But I don't have time for that. That takes a little while, because most of your damage is focused on the familiars and not Sine herself. The bomb I just used is pretty powerful, which is more than can be said for the other characters' bombs, at least. So this non-spell is tight spaces, but it's not really that difficult at all. However, the last spell card Sine has is completely awful. You can see that it has a very good chance of walling you. Like right, oh well, almost right there. I get walled right here, however. I'm not really sure if it's possible to control the movement of these walls of bullets, but at least I got to show off Suwako's other bomb. It's unfortunate that Suwako winds up being the second weakest character in the game. Anyways, that's it for stage 1.